Okay then, wife story time. Not the most complicated of stories, but memorable for the shit involved. Told by boss a client wants us to locate his wife. Has been missing for the better part of a month after taking out a fuck ton of money from his accounts. From what we can tell, she converted it to cash or moved it into accounts we can't locate. Given all the info, last known locations, and known habits. Turns out, we've done this before, twice in fact. So we have a fairly good idea of where she could be. Women have a tendency to be creatures of habit. Problem is, this one's habits are a bit wacky. Each time she's ran off, she's gone to some really fucked up high-class sex club, and literally spent all of her money there until she runs out and had to surface to grab more. First time was your typical 24-hour all-year orgy club. There are some who fucking live in the things. It's disgusting. Second time was an extreme BDSM club. She'd spent a few months being used as furniture, needed time in hospital. So we realized this time was going to be worse. At the BDSM club, we'd almost lost one of our group to a Gorian Dom. Poor girl was never quite the same afterwards. Women rarely last in this job. First thing we did was hit the list. Complete records of all clubs like that in Europe, as she'd never gone outside the continent in the past for this sort of thing. Lots of clubs, but we narrowed it down based on her area. Lack of any sightings at airports. Like, fuck, she'd drive or take a train and so on. Went to a particular city infamous for this sort of shit. Lots of places like what we were looking for there. All tailored to the absurdly wealthy. Got off the plane, through customs, and checked into a hotel. Declined the complimentary call girl. Wait till the evening, as that's when these clubs open their doors to strangers. Have to use this fancy-ass disguise kit as we're known at more than a few of them, and they don't like having customers stolen. Fortunately, one of us knows how to use the bloody thing, and we wind up looking like a group of stereotypical rich Scots, bushy orange mutton chops and all. Hit some of the clubs with no luck. Have a bad run-in with someone who almost recognized us. Managed to escape without any incidents beyond having to throw a few bottles at them in screaming dog pile. Begin to despair that this is going to turn into one of those long-winded chases. It does. We spent a month checking clubs all over Europe. Extra resources are pulled in as the client starts throwing more money at our boss to do it faster. Eventually, we get a tip. Someone has seen our target at a particular club. Celebration all around. Finally, a solid lead. Then comes the bad news. It's a new club. A hardcore scat club. We are talking a place that has never, ever been cleaned. A literal den of filth and disease. They hose you off after you leave with antiseptic. She's in there, and she has been in there a while. Call the client to tell him to arrange a discreet hospital stay, pick up and so on. Order some hazmat suits and guns from the boss. There's just no talking with some people. A few days later, everything is arranged. An observation of the club has not shown her leaving. Some people do pay extra, it seems, to stay in the club's own hotel, where they can keep the party going. All of us are, by virtue of being in this job a bit, obsessed with cleanliness. Try to convince the boss to send someone else. He refuses. All of us are sat there miserable, trying to find any excuse not to do this, not daring to be in the same room as our informant in the club. The gear arrives from the boss, along with a body bag to stuff the target in. An ambulance will be waiting as our escape vehicle. We give ourselves one final rubdown with alcohol gel, disinfectants, and whatever else is handy in the shower, before we get dressed and wait for everyone to be ready. I can only imagine the doorman's confusion when 4 men in bright yellow hazmat suits, carrying shotguns, walked up to him. Said confusion prevented him from really acting until it was too late and he got a shotgun butt in the face. Rather than bothering with keys or shit, we simply shoot the lock off and kick the door. The first room is pretty much just an airlock. Step in, shoot the second lock, and kick the door in. It was simply horrific. There was shit everywhere, and people rolling around in it and copulating, doing things that are simply indescribable. a woman shat into a man's mouth as he pissed into hers. People copulated in a pit full of human feces. We all just stood there in shock as people slowly noticed us. Then the screaming started. A few shotgun blasts to the ceiling got them screaming more and running. We looked for our target in the crowd, kicking in doors left and right, every door revealing a new scene of horrific, waste-related kink. No, this was beyond kink. This was just sick. These people were sick. Probably literally. Target was found bathing in piss with some young man balls deep in her. Target removed from bath and young man repeatedly kicked in the corner to shut him up. Just couldn't stop kicking him. Kicked him until he stopped moving. That place, it got to us. Target was crying in the corner, so we stuffed her in the bag and carried her out. A few more blasts from the shotgun paving the way. Ambulance waiting out back. Shit streaks on the side from people trying to get help from them. Guy stood outside with a truncheon looking sick. Throw Target in the back and climb in. Guys get in and drive us the fuck out of there. One of us makes the mistake of popping the seal on his hazmat suit. His screams. They haunt me. Target was dropped off at a rather exclusive and discreet hospital. We were hosed off by courteous hospital staff. Foolish ones who popped the seals on his suit spent the rest of the evening as a shambling zombie, barely responding to anything. Improved after a few hot showers. Got back to the hotel and packed up to leave. Nobody talked. Nobody wanted to talk. It was just horrific. Since the client had paid us so much, the boss gave us considerable bonuses for that mess and vacation time, which was nice. 2 guys from the team quit the next day.